Welcome to another episode of Sunstone's Couch with Counselors. Today, we are very lucky to have Steffanie Kelshaw with us, who is a licensed professional counselor and a certified substance abuse counselor.
Yeah.
Welcome. Good to have you here.
Thanks, Hugh.
No problem. Well, just to kind of start off and get to know you a little bit, I think the path of a counselor or a therapist is very interesting. Like what led us to these professions, what led us to wanting to engage in this kind of a work. And I'm just kind of curious for you, what did your path look like to becoming a counselor?
Sure. So I actually wasn't planning on becoming a counselor.
All right.
I
Surprise.
actually was pre-med in undergrad at the University of Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
So I always had the dream of being a physician. So I was pre-med. I graduated undergrad with a bachelor's in psychology, minor in biology on the pre-med course, and then after I graduated, I moved down to DC.
Okay.
And I was working as a medical assistant in a local hospital, shadowing physicians.
Oh, fun.
Assisting in like minor outpatient surgical procedures, vaccinations, vital signs, medications, x-rays, all of that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to get more experience before applying to medical school. And
Cool.
I'm glad that I did, because I obviously decided that that was not what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Just working with the physicians and working in the hospital, I didn't like how fast-paced everything was.
Yeah.
I really wanted to kind of slow down. And I got the feedback that I had too good of a bedside manner with a lot of our patients.
It's like, thank you? But, okay, yeah.
There was one particular example where one of our patients came in and she got an x-ray, and long story short, she was diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer.
Oh gosh, that's too bad.
And she was in her mid-40s. She had her husband and her teenage daughter in the waiting room that were there just for support.
Oh my gosh.
The doctor saw the x-rays and was like, all right, we're going to have to schedule her for surgery, chemo, radiation. Here's the plan. Let's go get prepped. And I was like, but what are we going to, what do you mean? Like, how are
There's
we
a family in the waiting room we got to talk
how
to.
is this going to impact her?
Yeah.
What is she going to do? What is she going to do about work, her lifestyle? I knew that this particular patient was an avid runner, so I was like, what is she going to do? And the doctors were like, who cares?
Oh gosh.
And I was like, I care.
I'm in the wrong profession. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I like to use that story as one of the main reasons why I decided to make the switch.
Wow.
I knew I was interested in the human body, in the mind-body connection, in how everything kind of works internally and making people feel better.
Nice.
And so I still wanted to do that, but not go to medical school and be a physician. So I went to graduate school and became a counselor.
There it is.
And
Cool.
here I am.
And we are so lucky to have you. Okay. Wow, I really like that, because like it just kind of shows that, I mean, part of our work is that you brought up how the body is very much integrated into our work, because we feel emotions with our bodies, and you know, being able to understand them and being able to react to them, to something like loss or something like a tragedy going on in life, you know, how to manage that so that we can still be in control and have a good life. I like that.
Yeah, it's a major life transition. Anytime we go through any kind of health diagnoses or a setback or a job change or a breakup,
Or a
affects,
pandemic.
you name it.
Yeah.
It affects mind and body, and I think that's really important, and I try to incorporate that into my work as a therapist as well.
Love that. Cool. I mean, this kind of leads into a question I'd love to discuss with you, and that's, I think a lot of times when people are looking for counselors or therapists online, they say that most times people have looked like 5 to 7 times online or called before actually committing to, like, that's it, I'm going to therapy. I'm going to have some sessions. And I think something that holds people back from that is just the fear of the unknown. The reason why it's 5 to 7 times instead of 1 or 2 times is because they're like, am I going to be lying on a couch, and am I going to have a counselor who's just like, and yeah, the entire time? And so one thing I wanted that you could speak to is when a client is coming to see you for the first time, what can they expect, you know, during the first couple sessions and maybe throughout the time that they see you?
Sure. So I normally like to start off by doing an initial consultation on the phone. So before you even come in to see me, we're going to get to know each other, see if there's a connection, make sure that I'm the right provider for you based on your presenting issues. So we'll have a little bit of a connection before you even come in. I don't like to just meet my clients blindly and have them open up without having a little bit of an introduction.
Right, right.
And so whenever you come in, I like to have my clients just have a conversation with me. I will be asking a lot of questions.
Of course.
That's my job, right?
We're newcomers to their lives, and so
exactly.
Yeah.
I need to get to know them and kind of put all the puzzle pieces together, but I like to make it a conversation. I don't like to make it feel like it's an interrogation. I don't like to make it feel like I have a spotlight on my clients. I welcome any questions that they have about the process. I like to kind of explain the first few sessions are consultation. Again, it's feeding off of that initial phone consultation, making sure that the rapport is there. The client feels like it's a good fit. I feel like it's a good fit based on my areas of expertise. Getting to know the past, the present, hopes for the future. So it's kind of playing from pieces of the past, what's going on currently, and hopes for the future, because then that way we can collaboratively come up with a treatment plan for what their therapy is going to look like. For some people, it may be short term.
Sure.
Maybe a little bit more brief solution focused therapy. It might just be a particular situation they need some help navigating, and it might last a few weeks. For other people, it may be a longer term thing that they need a process, and it might be TBD.
Yeah.
We never know. I think that's individualized for how long people can expect to be in therapy. But I like to come up with a treatment plan with the client so that way they feel comfortable. And I'm a big homework person as well. I like to assign clients things to do outside of the sessions. Because if we're just meeting for 1 hour a week, a lot of work can be done in that session, but I want to give them some tools and some coping skills so that way they can apply it in their everyday life.
Sure.
Come back the next week, say, hey, Steph, that worked great.
Yeah.
Or, hey, Steph, that didn't work so well.
Yeah.
Great. Let's figure out why. What are some barriers? And how can we readjust and come up with plan B? So I like to kind of refer to it as a little bit of a dance. We kind of figure it out together. And hopefully my clients feel like they have a safe space where they can come into my office and process whatever they need to process without any judgment from a neutral third party.
I like that.
And kind of help untangle whatever knots they have in life and be able to move forward in whatever way they want to.
I like that. I like how you talked a lot to the individualization of therapy.
Yeah.
It's very much dependent on how the client approaches it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of times some clients might approach it the way that some people have approached, I'm kind of speaking from experience here, who have approached personal training, where they have like a weekly session with a trainer and it's great and the muscles are getting, obliterated during the sessions. And then the other 6 days of the week, we make it to the gym once or twice and not a whole lot of progress. And so it's very much dependent, we'll dig into some stuff together.
Absolutely.
But also there's gonna be some things that you also have to do outside of therapy. And it's very much up to you how long it can last. Yeah. And so I like that.
Yeah, I like to empower my clients to take control of their lives and to come to therapy with any questions that they may have. And if they're, not sure about how frequent we should meet or how long therapy should be, or if there's any other resources out there, I like to be that kind of person that they can go to help them kind of figure all of that stuff out.
Right.
I welcome questions, and I like to try to make it as collaborative as possible.
I like that. Cool. Collaborative. Good word. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, and something that we as therapists talk pretty frequently with about our clients, a big part of therapy is self-care. This concept of you are like a car and you got to take care of yourself. We can't be going 60 miles an hour your entire lives. We got to take breaks and such. And that also applies to us as therapists and also just as human beings. One thing I would love to hear you speak to is, for you personally, what do you do to take care of yourself so that you can show up to your sessions ready, prepared, invigorated, and energized? What do you do to take care of yourself so that you can live well?
A lot.
The list,
I like to practice what I preach, right?
Yeah.
And I think during the pandemic, it's been more important than ever to really practice that self-care because, like you said, nobody can keep going.
Right.
It's not sustainable. We're going to burn out. Whether we're a therapist, a person, it doesn't matter, right? And so I think coming back to that mind-body connection is really important for me, and that's how I like to engage in my self-care. So I like to go to the chiropractor once a week, get out any stress that I carry in my body that I'm either consciously or not consciously aware of. I get that taken care of.
Okay.
I like to do massages once a month. So I have some things that I do a little bit more frequently and a little less frequently.
I like your method of self-care.
I like to get manicures and pedicures because, again, it's all about the massaging and the relaxing, just taking a time out from the hustle and bustle and the everyday life where it's just go, go, go. So anything where I could just kind of time out, take care of my body. I'm a big fan of a foam roller. I like to use that at the end of the day, especially working from home and sitting in a chair all day. I like to just kind of let out all of the kinks and just relax. So I use a foam roller, which is great. And then anything mindless. I love reality TV.
There we go.
That's my guilty pleasure. I love reality TV.
All right.
I could just kind of check out and relax.
I like that. Cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like ways just to relax, disconnect. I think those are awesome ways just to bring it back to center for a little bit.
Let go of all of the busyness that's going on in our heads every single day. Sometimes we just have to tune it out and just be mindless and take care of ourselves.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to meet today and to just kind of open up about what the experience is like meeting with you, your way of taking care of yourself, and your path to coming where you're at. And wish you all the best, and we'll be talking later.
Thanks, you.
No problem.